Sometimes 7 seconds are enough to build a grander picture. Showing the Master Sword broken by malice certainly sent a clear message, though the same can be said about the new glowing symbol on Link's new arm, and more so symbols that are tied to the arm on the ground that Link stands on. Thus, in this Breath of the Wild 2 theory, we will explore the Zonai thread from the same symbols found underground and in the sky to their role, and ask the key question: why does the Zonai get up to the sky? So be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and press that notification bell, and let's dive right underground where it all begins. With a glowing hand losing the grip of Ganondorf to save Link and hopefully Zelda, that does not work out perfectly, with the consequences being that Zelda falls and Link merges together with the new arm after being attacked by malice, surrounded by what is presumed to be Zonai symbols.
And these were ignored until the exact same symbols or letters reappeared under this glowing light in the sky. Which begs the question, is this where Link ended up after merging together with the hand, or are they specific landmarks found in different locations of the sequel? Since why is there a glow here above the symbols in the sky? Is it a communication or perhaps a Zonai teleportation point, much like we saw with the Sheikah shrines in Breath of the Wild, and that's it? Or is there more to the courage, life and spirit-focused Spirit Zonai if they are up here? The answer to both could be yes, since we see the green energy of the hand is limited as it merges together with Link, and in all the sky footage provided by the Zelda team we see one thing. The arm has darkened and the only light it brings forth is the golden glow from where past heroes in the Zelda series had the Triforce of Courage. No longer green outside when using specific waypoints to move among the 3 layers found in the game. Otherwise, it remains dark, only glowing when using time-bending abilities or when moving between physical barriers, including when moving up to the sky. Since why else would a hand like this be able to move up to a sky realm not visible from the regular surface? Naturally, because it is a spirit with some flesh, but also the tribe that it could be tied to.
The barbarian Zonai warriors, a civilization which collapsed long ago and which we have explored extensively in past theories, including their ruins. So did the spirits of the courageous Zonai barbarians who sacrificed their life to seal Ganondorf make it up to the sky or heavens in order to leave their symbols in this particular location? Yes, it could be the case. Unless this is a platform that moved together with Link from this location underground up to this particular location. Putting this into perspective, we believe that the Zonai's role outside of their majestic stone ruins and underground caves have been underestimated in the current limit of the Zelda series. Specifically, that they may have ended up in the sky as spirits and created a new civilization up here, since these Shinto look like dragon heads, and where there is smoke, there is often fire. Since the Zonai or their spirits seem more and more likely to replace the ancient Sheikah who were on the verge of passing on when they spoke to us.
A massive loss for the sake of keeping Ganondorf sealed, resulting in the spirits being a rewarded entry to the Isles of Heaven. And with a large number of simultaneous deaths, indicated by the density of luminous stones holding the sea spirits, it is clear that they might have been, just like the ancient Sheikah, ordered to prepare trials for the day the seal would break. The day Ganondorf would break free, resurrect, and the hero would have to make his way up to where the distant past spirits went, the sky. Including the warriors, which could have been hinted at in both creating a champion through the final page about ruins from times unknown, but also through the barbarian set. A completely optional set found in the Sheikah shrines of the 3 Lome labyrinths. Labyrinths mimicking the far older Zonai ruins scattered across Hyrule. This complete set might be a tease of what to expect up in the sky, as, who knows, the simultaneous death of so many warriors might have resulted in the spirits being recruited by the goddesses, or just the goddess of courage, as guardians of the divine realm, specifically for their skill, courage, and experience with sorcery. Guardians that Link might have to face, or at least show his worth to in order to reach the potential masters, the 3 golden goddesses. Speaking of guardians, we have to remember why the Sheikah monks of the ancient past in the shrines waited for Link. Because Goddess Hylia told them to in the era of advanced space-time timeshift stone technology in Lanayru, before the goddess sacrificed her immortality, and thus they followed this divine order like Rinkudo has suggested, time traveling to a Hyrule where the Sheikah were long extinct, creating a natural source of suspicion from the Hylians when they were first introduced to ancient technology and weaponry, plus obviously a tribe that was long gone. But the ancient Sheikah monks had a plan B if the weaponry failed: the trials of the hero in the shrines.
The ancient Sheikah was the force of wisdom, utilizing the powers of Nehru and following orders from Hylia, which brings us to the Zonai and their possible role in the sky. Since they worship Farash, the spirit dragon, the possible extension of Faror, the goddess of courage, life, and spirits, she might have, similarly to how Hylia ordered the Sheikah monks to go underground, ordered the spirits of the deceased Zonai to prepare for the day the hero would arrive in the sky. That is to say, after Ganondorf's resurrection. Since both instances are failsafes, which will only come to force if Plan A preventing the calamity and holding Ganondorf sealed fails, which occurred exactly 100 years ago, and in present time as of the Era of the Wild. With it, the hero went first through the trials of the shrines before defeating Calamity Ganon, before Zelda with Hylia's power finished off Dark Beast Ganon, and the next step with Ganondorf's escape is to prepare the hero to defeat the King of Evil himself, possibly with the help of the Golden Goddesses. It just makes sense with the structure of this trilogy that it is all set in motion by divine plan, and Link simply has to conquer the trials thrown his way. Whether that being on the surface with the Sheikah shrines, or in the sky with possible Zonai trials, all to show that Link is worthy of the task at hand, but also to meet the deities that no mortal has ever met while being alive. The three golden goddesses, Din, Nehru, and Faror. In the first installment of this Triforce of Breath of the Wild 2 theories, we explored their role in the sequel. At the same time, Zelda, mortal Hylia, fell deep underground. Thus, if she's still alive, she might only be able to communicate with us, possibly through this light that we have to reach in certain corners of the sky. Naturally, this is all speculation that ties to how we have seen Zelda communicate with Link in Breath of the Wild. As a light, when we reach what could be yellow Triforce marked locations, not so different from how Princess Zelda spoke to us from Hyrule Castle through the glowing light in the beginning of Breath of the Wild.
That is, before picking up the Sheikah slate. She might still be there underground, and much like we raised the Sheikah Tower of the Great Plateau to activate the Shrines of Hyrule, we might also end up following a similar path in the sky, but not to the Sheikah monks, but Zonai Elders, or whatever they will be called. Spirits in the way between us and Faror and the other goddesses. So yes, they are dead, just like everyone else up in heaven, apart from the golden goddesses. After all, as Link, we are the hero. We wear the green with the dragon deity of the Zonai people, Farosh and the Triforce mark, and now they may want to see what Link is made of, especially with the hand of a potentially a Zonai or a past hero, the Sealer of Ganondorf. The story potential here with the hand reaching out to its long lost friends and people could be really powerful right here in the sky, the place they ended up after leaving their homes on the surface and dying when sealing Ganondorf as permanently as it was possible on the ground. A civilization of Zonai spirits that we'll have to convince before we can reach Faror, and for her, possibly Nehru and Din, which would also fit what could be the structure of the sequel. First you in a tunic of courage in the sky, Zelda underground before bringing the fight to Ganondorf on the surface. A reversed order of courage, wisdom and power instead of power, wisdom and courage. The more we turn it, the more the following makes sense. That Link, upon merging together with the new hand, in a shirtless state ends up right in the sky, against the main green tunic, and is instructed by the voice of Zelda and the first Zonai of the sky of the path that he and the Master Sword have ahead. But he will not return back to the sky right away, since after an initial section in the clouds, he is instead sent back on the ground, wearing either the new tunic or the tunic he had when entering the cave system.
From here, Link might have to fight his way from the darkness back to the surface, and then locate teleportation points from where he can reach the greatest light in the sky, the potential third and final domain of the barbarian Zonai tribe, after leaving the surface, their ancestral home for the underground, where they met their mortal end and as heroic immortal spirits found a new home in the sky. Nothing could be more poetic, and we all know how much both series producer Eiji Aonuma and series director Hidemaru Fujibayashi love creating connections like this, especially in a sequel where the main theme has been combinations since the reveal in June 2019. So much potential to involve another race or tribe of warriors, a path that will make a man out of Link, spirits who clearly praised one of the goddesses, though instead of Hylia, it was the goddess who granted life to everything in the world, Faror, and for her they offered their life in order to protect her creation. A sacrifice that they don't want to be wasted, but first, they need to see if the newcomer is worthy of further passage. In other words, they, much like the ancient Sheikah, will like to test Link up in the lands of the goddesses before granting him the ultimate relic. The Triforce, or perhaps even the direct in-person help from Pharaon, Nehru, and Din themselves. A lengthy quest in the sky with the Zonai and the goddesses. All in order to bring the battle back to the surface, to Ganondorf, who dealt with Link so easily in their first underground duel.
And that is our take on the Sky Zonai, and how they might be the successors of the ancient Sheikah monks found in Breath of the Wild. That is to say, in the Spring 2023 sequel. But what do you think of this theory and argument? Do you think that we will solve not only divine but also Zonai puzzles throughout the Sky Islands? Sound off in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, then be sure to share this Zelda theory, leave a like to make it more visible, and most importantly, subscribe and press the notification bell and with all notifications on. A big thanks as always goes to all of you for watching and to all our patreon.com/CommonRealm patrons, and in particular royal producer Charles Shash for the financial support. You all rock, and please enjoy one or both of these two awesome videos.